Microsoft has a big Xbox Series X event on May 7th, and I thought it'd be time to give my preview of everything you can expect to see at the show. Let's get into it. What is going on, everybody? Randall Thor19, the man with a million, back again with another video. Hope everyone's having a great day, and if you could do me a big favor, could you please hit that like and subscribe button? I would greatly appreciate it. Now, I am as excited as everybody else is for the show. The first look of Xbox Series X next-gen gameplay is something to be hyped about, but I'm going to keep my expectations in check for the show because we know that there is another bigger show coming a little bit later, and because we don't know the specifics of the show, like how long it is it 20 minutes long? Is it 40 minutes long? Is it an hour long? Will there be extended game demos? Will developers talk about their games after showing the trailer? It's almost really impossible to try to predict the games that will be at the show, but of course, I will try my best. Now, all the games that I'm going to mention here, I think could be at the show, or perhaps they might be at the show in July. I just really don't know how long this show is going to be, so it's really going to affect my prediction skills. So with that said, let's get into it. And obviously the first game everybody knows about is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Ubisoft has been on Twitter saying expect the first gameplay reveal here at the show, and I'm really excited to see what that game is going to look like, and if we'll get confirmation that the Series X version will run at 60 frames, 4K, maybe some light ray tracing. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Watch Dogs Legion shows up here as well. That game is also supposed to launch with the new console at the end of the year. I wouldn't be too surprised to see 2 Ubisoft games at this show. We also know that Assassin's Creed Valhalla is supporting smart delivery based on the product pages that you can see over at Best Buy and Amazon, and I think this event will be themed potentially around something like smart delivery, or perhaps Microsoft will say all the games showcased during this event will be on xCloud, or maybe a selection of them will be on Xbox Game Pass. I know a lot of PlayStation gamers and PC gamers will be tuned in to watch this, as a lot of these will be coming to their preferred platforms, but Microsoft's going to want to hit the nail over the head about why you need to get these games on Xbox, and smart delivery or Game Pass, or maybe the game on xCloud would be a way to do that. Now, the other game that we know that supports Xbox's smart delivery, which is you buy the game once and you get the next-gen version for free, is CD Projekt's Red Cyberpunk 2077. Microsoft has the exclusive marketing for it. It was at E3, not only last year, but the year before. We've already seen long gameplay demos of this game, and it's supposed to come out in September, and there are rumors out there that do suggest that there is a possibility Xbox Series X could launch in that time frame. I'll make a video about that maybe tomorrow, going over some of that information, but I think Cyberpunk could definitely be at the show, showing off a new segment of the game. Then we have another game that was shown off at E3 2019 last year for the very first time, and that is From Software's Elden Ring, that is being worked on in conjunction with George R.R. Martin, the mastermind behind Game of Thrones. Now, I'm a big From Software fan after I played Sekiro and Bloodborne. I don't expect this to be like Sekiro. I would expect it somewhat to be more akin to Dark Souls, but it doesn't really matter because after playing through Sekiro, now I'm going to play whatever From Software puts out, and I really do like the aesthetic that they've kind of chosen for, at least for the CG reveal trailer, so I'm really interested in seeing what the gameplay is gonna be like, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see it at this show. Now, I also don't think it'll be completely brand new games. I totally expect unannounced games from publishers and developers to be announced here, some that may be exclusive to Xbox, but I do think Microsoft will shine a spotlight on existing games that will get enhanced for Xbox Series X, and one of my first predictions of that variety is Red Dead Redemption 2 getting an Xbox Series X patch running at 60 frames 4K, all the bells and whistles. And the reason I say that is because it's already been announced that Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming to Xbox Game Pass on May 7th, which is the day of this this event. And I'm sure Microsoft would love to have Red Dead in the video and tell people about that. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Red Dead make an appearance and them telling you what you can expect with the enhancement for Xbox Series X, and maybe it even supports smart delivery. Now, this next game is one I've been really looking forward to finally seeing, and that is the new Batman game from Warner Brothers Montreal. They've been teasing it since last year, and it's about time we see the new adventure that Batman is going on. Supposedly, it's based around the Court of Owls comic storyline, and you know what? I am predicting it because I want it to happen. It may not be at the show. Maybe Sony has the marketing and it'll show up there, but I don't care. I'm going to will this into existence. Every single show, I'm going to predict it's going to be there, even if it's not, because I want to see the new Batman. And if it's not Batman, maybe Warner Brothers shows off that rumored Harry Potter RPG. Next up, we have the zombie apocalypse game Dying Light 2 from Techland. It's supposed to be coming out this fall. It was at Microsoft's E3 show last year, and there's always been rumors surrounding Microsoft perhaps purchasing Techland. Now, I'm not sure if that's happening or if that's just fanboy dreams or whatever, but I do think Microsoft has a partnership with Dying Light, and it's a good chance that this game shows up at this event. And of course, with the brand new generation, that means sports games get a big overhaul. So I do expect EA to show up in some capacity, and maybe they show off FIFA 21 or perhaps Madden 21, depending on the marketing deals that they have with Xbox or PlayStation. You know, this is probably going to happen. They love touting the realistic graphics of players. Oh, look at the sweat as it beads off their foreheads and all that stuff. Look at the clothing physics that they've done with these sports games. You know what's going to happen, and I think one of those two games will be at this show. Next up, we have Lord of the Rings Gollum from Daedalic Entertainment. Now, the reason I'm including it into this video is because the game's been talked about for quite some time. It has a really interesting art style, and screenshots for the game showed up today, and I kind of thought to myself, that's pretty interesting to reveal screenshots for a game. Microsoft then has an event this week showcasing third-party games. Maybe it's a sign that this game will get its first gameplay reveal at the show. And kind of keeping on that same theme, the Twitter account from Dirt put out a tweet that said, "While one journey remains flat out, another journey is about to begin. A letter to our incredible Dirt Rally 2.0 players. Now prepare for something different." So it's interesting that that was tweeted out today when they talk about how there won't be any more future seasons for Dirt Rally 2 and that something new is coming. And Microsoft, of course, has their event on Thursday, so don't be surprised if something from Dirt shows up at the show. I also expect to see a game from maybe Deep Silver, and the game I chose from them is Saints Row 4. Now, we don't know for sure that it's Saints Row 4. We know that Volition is working on a brand new Saints Row game. The Saints Row, the third remaster, is coming out the end of the month, and I do think Saints Row 4 is coming either this year or perhaps next year, and what better way to showcase it for the first time than at this event on May 7th. I also think Square Enix will be there in some capacity, and more than likely they'll be showing off Outriders, which is their next-gen game, launching at the end of the year. It already had some press events and some footage for it come out a couple months ago, and I know a lot of Xbox fans are eagerly anticipating the release date of Final Fantasy VII Remake on Xbox. I don't think that game or that announcement will come at this event. If it does happen, maybe it happens at the July event where Xbox has their bigger show. Much like my Batman pick earlier where I'm trying to will it into existence, I also think Microsoft will show off Playdead's new game here. It's been a while since they put out Inside. Of course, they're the developers of Limbo. They make absolutely fantastic games. The only thing we really know about it, it's kind of sci-fi, and they signed on with Epic. Now, it's a possibility that Epic shows it at their own showcase, but Microsoft and Playdead seem to have a pretty good working relationship, and I would love to see it at this show. Keeping on that indie route, don't be surprised if there's like a montage of ID at Xbox games that are coming to the new console, perhaps coming day one on Game Pass from publishers like Devolver Digital. It seems like this would be a good spot for something like that. I've also been getting a lot of questions about Xbox Series S, aka aka Xbox Lockhart, the cheaper next-gen system that Microsoft is rumored to be working on. They asked me if it's going to be at this event, and I do not think it will be. The first time Microsoft, in my opinion, will talk about this new console is at the show later in the year when they're going to give us the release date of Xbox Series X and the price point. And honestly, announcing new hardware during an event that's mainly focused on third party really doesn't make a lot of sense. And that brings us to the end of the show. I've kind of put it out there in my podcast that I would like to see Microsoft tease their next event in July with maybe a 15 to 20 second footage of Fable or Halo or something of that manner. And while I would love for that to happen, I am not expecting it to. I don't think Microsoft will show anything from their first party. Not saying they won't have any exclusive games here, because there is a possibility that some third-party games here will be exclusive, but I don't think we'll see anything from Microsoft's first party, even a 10-second tease. Now, you can make an argument maybe that's a mistake or what have you, but I do think they'll at least mention or talk about when we'll see stuff from their first party and get a more solid date surrounding it at the end of the show. Hopefully, Xbox and the third parties knock this show out of the park and wow everyone. Is smart delivery going to be a factor in each one of the games they show here? What about Game Pass? Are all these games going to be showing gameplay, showing off ray tracing, 60 frames, 4K? And it's an incredibly hard show to predict, like I mentioned before, without knowing the scope and length of it. So hopefully I did a pretty good job telling you guys, hey, maybe you could expect these games, or maybe they'll show up later at the July event. It's just really difficult to get a fix on what's going on at this show. Anyways, guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Share this out on social media or tell a friend about the channel. I'd really appreciate that. And if you want to be notified immediately when I drop new videos, make sure you hit that notification bell. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.